Sound check. Sound check. Checking out sounds. Not sure this is going to record, but, you know, who the hell knows. Anywho, hello ladies and gentlemen and everything in between. Welcome back to GEEXX Plays. I'm going to try and get back to reviewing video games more frequently, because I'm buying more video games. And one of my more recent purchases is Last Epoch by 11th Hour Games. Came out a few weeks ago. It is an action RPG in the style of games like Diablo and Grim Dawn, other games of that nature. It's fairly standard. Let's go to character creation. Whatever. You've got your standard classes. You've got the the Sentinel. Each class has a mastery, so you have your base character class, and you choose how you want to master your class. List your skills here. You can show what extra skills they have. Yada yada yada. So you got the Sentinel. You got the the Rogue. You can go Blade Dancer with skills. You got Marksman with bow skills. Falconeer, which is a bit different. I've never played a Falconer before, so don't know. But you got the standard Mage class, or sort of Spellblade, which is like a melee wizard. You use magic but with weapons. Rune Master, use runes. Blah blah blah. Beastmaster, Primalist, which has you can play as a pet class, a shaman or a druid, which changes shape. And of course the Acolyte, which becomes a necromancer, the Lich, with like cold and death related skills, and then a warlock with some like chaos magic. And pretty standard stuff. As you see, I have a few characters: a mage, beastmaster, necromancer, forge guard here. Stash tab, I created him I was worried about my stash. I play hardcore characters a lot, so I was worried about my stash disappearing if all my hardcore characters were dead. So I made him just to do that. But let's try to go and have a look here. I will enter the game, and hopefully this won't crash. Come on. There we go. This is not, I'm, obviously level, where is it? Level 11. So not too far in the game. I have a few cool skills like Disintegration. This is a fairly standard action RPG. You run around with your mouse. Got some an AoE Nova here, little Elemental Nova. Zap things, I can teleport, I can freeze them. Little defensive spell here, so I can safely zap my enemies down without taking any damage. There we go. Die. Little zappy zappy. Teleport away for safety. Die. Oh, you're not dead yet. You should be. There you go. There you go. You're dead now. This little guy with the little blue thing gave me a quest. You have your mini-map up here. Teleport, explode, zap. So like I said, pretty standard. The gameplay itself is nothing to write home about. It doesn't suck. It's pretty tight. It doesn't feel quite as fluid as some of the other games, but then again, it's not bad. Certainly played worse. Just run around zapping stuff. I gotta find a way to make that. It's too short. So, like most action RPGs, ooh, new spell unlocked. Cool beans. Leveled up. You can blow stuff up. Collect loot. So pretty standard. The storyline is basically you are lost in time. So you start off in the Divine Era. I'm currently in the Ruined Era. You start off here, this lovely little place. You start off here, you go to the town, do some quests, and you get flung forward in time. So you're basically bouncing back and forth between times to try and solve the mystery of what's going on. The story, I find, isn't all that compelling because you're bouncing back and forth between times. I haven't gotten attached to any of the characters yet. Like, so it's okay. It's not bad, but it's like when I played Diablo 4, that was the first action RPG where I felt like I was really connected with the characters. Like, I really cared about what happened to them. But in this, not so much. But most people don't play these games for the story anyway. I do. Because that's the kind of person I am. Yeah, evacuate. It's awful here. You should evacuate. You want these guys to live.
I cannot do that.
I can't? Why not? I can do this. Oop, out of mana. That's a dangerous thing for happening to a mage. That's one thing about this little lovely disintegration spell. It is kind of mana hungry. Let's talk about the skills. You can easily swap out your skills. You could just, look, here's a new spell. What does it do? Ooh, that's kind of cool actually. I haven't tried that before. But if I want to do like my lightning spell, you can swap any of your spells out to any tab. What does Glacier do? Ooh, that's impressive. I never used that before. But I like my disintegration spell. Yaha! So that's kind of fun. But let's teleport back to town, so we can talk about some of the other systems in the game. I've showed you a little gameplay stuff. You've got your stash in town, where I've got all kinds of stuff saved. And then you can... Any upgrades? Not really. And you have your person to sell stuff to. Where'd she go? She moves. Sometimes she's over here, sometimes she's over here. See what you got. See, you can buy stuff. One of the things that I like is that, aside from these runes, this stuff is all really cheap. A lot of games use, like, buying stuff in the item shop is hideously expensive. I mean, it's all crap. But a lot of times it's like so expensive to try and buy your own gear. If you see something in the shop that's good for you, you could buy it. Money is... Oops, didn't want to do that. Anyway, inventory. I don't have a lot of money, so money is hard to come by. So, but I've never felt that I couldn't buy anything in the store, aside from these things, because they're expensive. But you can come over here and just like sell the junk. So is this all? Yeah, this is all like blue and not junk. So sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it. Sell it. Not junk, but nothing I'm going to use because I'm a spellcaster. Oops, nope. That's controls are tricky. If you don't like, you have to. If you do it wrong, you're going to swap out your gear. So that's going to be something I'm going to be as a negative to the game.
Right.
Controls are a little tricky for subtle stuff like that. I've wound up like swapping out my gear without realizing it and selling what I wanted to keep. So controls are a bit finicky in places. Oh, didn't want to do that. Apparently that's a teleport circle. And I didn't even notice. The stash tabs. Stash is kind of cool. You can buy more tabs. It's expensive, but yeah, sure, I'll buy a new stash tab. You can buy as many. They get more expensive, but they're not horrible. You could buy dozens of stash tabs. You don't have to worry about. I mean, I filled this tab up mostly, and this is just like gear I thought I want to keep some uniques and stuff. You do get uniques fairly early on. That's pretty good. Gear upgrades, I think I'm doing something wrong because I have a hard time finding gear upgrades that really complement what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to do obviously elemental and spell damage as a mage, but trying to find gear that actually works for me. I wind up like I've had like 3 hardcore characters die because I obviously didn't get enough hit points. What's this? Oh, this just shows me I've unlocked a new skill. Well, wait, we'll get back to that. So let's talk about other stuff. Stuff I think this game does really, really, really well is these skill trees. Now you've got passive skills, which when you level up you get a passive skill point, which you can access by pressing the P button or by clicking this. So you have your basic, I'm a mage. Every time you put a point in one of these skills, you have some passive skills here. These are all passives. Next spell has increased damage, increased elemental damage, increased arcane, increased lightning damage, increased health and mana, increase my intelligence and resistances. Then once you pick your mastery, you get a second passive tree to put stuff in with all new passives. And as you put points in your passive tree, you unlock new skills. Like I unlocked Glacier, I unlocked Disintegrate. Once I put 15 points into this tab, I will unlock Volcanic Orb. Once I put 20 points, I'll unlock Focus. And the same is true for these other passive tabs. So that is all really good. I think that's really cool. You've got a lot of choices here, and it may seem daunting, but you also have like a little search. You can type in fire and see all these nodes have something to do with fire. So if you're trying to do a fire mage, you're set. You can find stuff. You can do cold. Oh look, cold, lightning, yada yada yada. Or what about mana? Yep. Oh, you got one mana bar. There you go. One mana spell, or one ability that affects your mana. I'm going to do the extra mana because I do run out very quickly. Although if I did more damage, I would kill things faster. Let's just kill stuff faster. But then you have the actual skills themselves, which I opened up earlier. These are the skills that all mages get. These are the ones that you unlock as you level up. And these are the ones you unlock by spending points in the mage passive tree. And you see unlocked by spending points in the sorcerer passive tree, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. Now you've noticed I have a couple, got Elemental Nova in this slot and Flame Ward in this slot, and that these are locked. This unlocked at level 4, this unlocked at level 8. Now this is where the game really, really impresses me, because every single one of these skills has their own skill tree. Now I know this looks complicated, but it's really not, because these little sections are all themed. Like I put points in this Arcana Elementorium to increase the radius of my spell. So like if you press the E button and you get this little boom. It used to be this little tiny circle, and now it goes all the way out. Goes all the way out there. It covers like a third, like a quarter of the screen. So pretty impressive. It was just a little tiny circle around me. Now it goes boom. And in this one, I put points into ward gain, and will increase the ward based on how much health I have. You know what? Okay, let me see. Press the R button. Look at my little health bar here. If I press R to activate the spell, it turns blue. I have this little. So this little ward, I create like a magical barrier around myself that slowly decays that will protect me from damage. This is my defensive spell. So I've increased the amount of protection it will give me, and if I have missing health, it will give me even more. And you can it will automatically cast when I'm stunned. That's really, really good. And there's all kinds of cool. It does retaliation damage too. It's like when I'm hit, it will do fire damage. You can change that fire damage to cold damage. Cold damage, or you can change it to I think lightning damage over here. So you can really change out all of these skills. I made it bigger, but I can increase the amount of cold damage that it does. I can increase the amount of lightning damage it does. Like Elemental Nova does all 3 elements at once. So, does more fire damage, does more frost damage, does more lightning damage. And then you can do other things with it. You can store additional charges of Elemental Nova. More damage against chilled and frozen enemies. Increased critical crit chance. And then once I level up, back here. I'm thinking about getting rid of Elemental Nova because I don't use it that often. Because when I wait another 8 levels to put this in there. But Disintegrate, this has a chance to ignite enemies. This will give it a longer range, so it shoots out farther. This will upgrade the damage the longer I channel it. One of these will split it into a couple different beams. Has 2 beams. But, like Fireball, I can have Fireball do like 3 projectiles instead of 1. Like right now, it just shoots 1. Nope, that's wrong. Oh, I took teleport off my bar. So let's see what teleport does if I did that one. Shorter cooldown. It knocks enemies back when you arrive. Knocks enemies further back. You can freeze enemies if you teleport. Higher resistances when you teleport. Teleport creates a mirror image where you were at last standing. So, defense more defensive. You would increase damage when you teleport. Teleport casts Elemental Nova when you land. But only when Elemental Nova is not on cooldown. So you've got all these options. And I know it looks complicated, but there's really only about 24 nodes, and they do follow a certain pattern. So basically, these build on each other. So if you understand what this means, cold resistance and armor. Teleport costs less mana. Other skills, cooldowns. So this is more like stats and personal buffs. This is cooldowns. So you've got this element. This increases your damage. This also this is utility. You've got utility, damage, stacking abilities on top of each other, and you can make them stack too. Like I said, this will cast Elemental Nova on its own. So if you've got, it will cast an Elemental Nova as with any buffs you've got in here. So you can really, really stack your abilities. And if you notice, this says 5 because as you play the game, your abilities level up. He's only level 4. And as you play around killing things and doing quests and stuff, all the experience you get goes towards your skills. They cap out at 20, so you can't just fill everything. That is the one area in this game where I will give this top marks. They really, really went above and beyond with the passive skill trees and with the ability skill trees. And even they even give you hints like Elemental Nova. It does fire, cold, and lightning damage. Oh look, cold and lightning. It's grayed out because it doesn't have lightning on it yet, but you could make it so it does lightning damage. This is fire, you can make it do lightning damage. This does lightning damage, you make it do cold damage. So it lets you know what you can do with it further down the line. Oh, a Frost Claw, you can make it do lightning damage if you want to, or fire damage if you want to. So it's an ice spell, but you can make it not an ice spell anymore. Glacier's always going to be an ice spell. I haven't really looked at these yet, but yeah, Surge, it's lightning, but you can make it cold. So you can really play around with this a lot if you want to take the time. As far as the action RPGs go, I'm going to say this is okay. It's not awesome. My hardcore characters have died a few times. Oh, that's something else. When a hardcore character dies, it doesn't actually die, which kind of annoys me. It goes to be a normal softcore character, which I think would be okay if it was like an option. But the reason I play hardcore characters is because I want the challenge. I want to know my character is going to, if my character dies, it's going to be dead. That's why I play hardcore characters. I want the challenge. The challenge doesn't exist in this game because your hardcore characters don't really die. They're just shuffled off to being not hardcore characters anymore. You do lose access to your stash, like when they're shunted off to the other server, the softcore server. Like all their stash and all their money doesn't come with you. Oh, one other thing I want to mention that they do well: crafting. You can craft anywhere. You can drag this item over. Any item. So, plunk. And each item, normal items can only have 4 stats. So yeah, this is all crafting material. These are my crafting materials. I can just shove the crafting materials into my stash. They're gone. Ta-da! So I can, if I want to, I have 11 runes for spell damage. I can increase the spell damage. where it says, so you see it says forging potential. I can only do this a certain number of times, depending on how much forging potential I use. I can upgrade it, and it says -2 forging potential, 10% increased spell damage. So it went from 23% to 33%. I can also add other stuff. These are all the shards I've collected. So I can increase the resistance, necrotic, poison, void resistance, chance to chill, chance to shock. So there's a limit. You can't just do anything. It depends on what you have available and what stats are available. But let's see. Let's go elemental resistance. So that's good for me. 6 elemental resistance. What else do I want? I could use some more mana. Crit strike chance, damage, elemental. How about elemental damage? I've only got 6 forging potential left. Elemental damage. And see, it was blue. Now it's... So, if you look, this does 855 damage. What does it do now? I might have put it back on. Oh look, 1051 damage. So I have just buffed the crap out of this thing. You do need the materials for it. And you need the forging potential. This only has 5 forging potential left, but you could do a lot. You can basically, if you got the materials and you got the forging potential on it, you can basically start with a great piece of gear like this and turn it into like a quality piece of gear. So you need the materials, and they don't sell the materials. They either drop or hold on, what you have? Anything good here? No. Nothing I can really use to show you my back. Okay. Anything I'd want to break? Taking too much time. Whatever. I'll just break something. I'll break something. Okay.
Right.
So, you get those shards by doing this, taking the Rune of Shattering, and it will break into these shards. See? Shards set to forge. So, shards are in there. So, that's how you get these pieces. You gotta take gear, break it, and then reforge it. Ta-da! So, short review at the very, very end. The story is lackluster, I think. Oh, another thing too that bugged me is the maps are small. If you hit the M button, it just brings up the world map. You can't get a map of this. You can hit Tab, it'll bring up an overlay, but it's kind of hard to see. Especially depending on what terrain you're against. I've made it as opaque as possible. It's easiest to see over like grass, so you can see the map here. That's it. I've got the overlay and the corner map. And if you notice, it shows, like, I can only walk from here to here. The areas are very small. There are very few large open areas to actually move around in. So I'm feeling very claustrophobic. But the skill system, passive skill trees, and the forging, man, they really knocked out of the park with those. This is some of the best. I mean, I know this looks complicated, but trust me, Path of Exile is 20 times more complicated than this. It's way better than anything they gave us for Diablo 4. There's a reason people are leaving Diablo 4 for this game, and this is it. This skill tree, for each ability having their own skill tree, and what you can do with it. Because I mean, you know, like I said, oh yeah, this thing. This is a cold skill, but you can change it, convert it to fire damage, and every single class. Yes, bad character selection. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I want to go to character selection. Here we go. Like Rexar, he's by default, the druid can only have like 1 or 2 pets. You can change it so you have 5 pets out. Same thing with the necromancer. You start off with the ability to have 3 skeletons to summon. At one point I had like 9 skeletons running around, along with a golem and wraiths and everything else. all these characters have every single character has the same type of customization that is just hard to find in any other game. I do regret that when you create a character, you don't have any, like, this is what all the acolytes look like. This is what all the primalists look like. All the mages look like this. All the sentinels look like this. There is no, it's not a huge thing, but at this day and age, I mean, the fact that I don't want massive customization, but I can't pick male or female, because really, I don't like the way she looks. She's just hideous, and I don't like it. Rexar just looks stupid with his hat, little wolf hat. Overall, I'm gonna have to give it a B+. I'm sorry I can't give it anything higher. It's not gonna keep me entertained for years. Like some other, like I'm still playing Diablo 4 on occasion, just for fun. I'll probably beat this game once, and then maybe pick it up on occasion. I'm not going to keep coming back to it though. So, but that's just me. A lot of people are loving this game. So, for my own opinion, it's too claustrophobic. The storyline doesn't keep me entertained, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And the fact that you really can't skip, you can skip the story, but you get passive skill points by completing quests and stuff. So you do kind of need to complete some quests. You can't skip it entirely, even if you're sick of it. So yeah, B+. Solid effort. But a lot of people just don't play hardcore like I do, because I have to play the storyline through multiple times because that characters keep dying. So if you're not playing hardcore, you probably won't be as against this game as I am, because you'll just play softcore. When your characters die, it's not a big deal to you. You don't need to replay the game multiple times, unless you want to start a new character and try it. You can respec your class. You can't respec your mastery. But you're not going to want to play through the game as often as I will. You create like 10 characters, and that's all the builds you're going to want to do, and you're good. Anyway, I've rambled on for way too long. Thanks for watching. If you like my crap, seek help. And until next time, good hunting.